Hello, fellow Earthlings. Welcome to the Becoming the Big Me podcast. I'm your host, Djemilah Birnie, and together we will be stepping into our highest potential, exploring all things mind, body, and soul, with just a smidge of business. You're a spiritual badass, soulpreneur, and a warrior for change. You're ready to expand your impact and leave your old self behind in order to raise your vibration so that you can positively influence your business, your community, and ultimately the world. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. Welcome back to the Becoming the Big Me podcast. I'm your host, Djemilah Birnie, and you guys, class is in session again today because we are chatting about business. So grab your notebooks and your listening ears and get ready to learn some stuff. So today I wanted to talk to you about when is the right time to start investing in paid ads for your business. As y'all know, I've come from a marketing background, so I have been very involved in the marketing space for the past 8 years now. I forget, the time goes forward, but for the past while, I have been involved in the marketing space, and I have, during this time, being a marketer, gotten to know many other marketers. And I know that there is this mentality in the marketing space where you're going to get pushed to do ads right away. Now, I used to push this same strategy. I used to push this $5 a day Instagram and Facebook strategy, which can work. However, when I was pushing this strategy, you guys, to be honest, I was very naive as far as what foundational pieces are needed before running that strategy. Is it a good strategy? Does it work for building out an audience and creating custom audiences? Well, yes, it used to before Facebook changed all of its everything, all of its, targeting choices. All of that has changed since I used to run that strategy, but regardless. So you are looking to spread the word for your business. You want to get more customers. You want to get more leads. You want all of these things. However, you're finding that when you're going to these marketing agencies, you're going to these marketing companies, you're not sure what it is that you actually need. You might be getting pitched these very large packages, including all of this ad spend, including all of these different things, all these fancy words, all of this terminology. It sounds all fancy and makes you feel like you need it, right? And so you give them your money, and when they start running your ads, you're so excited. You're like, yeah, I'm about to start getting leads pouring into my face. Just left and right, leads coming at me because that's what they told me they were going to do for me. But here's the thing that they forgot. Here's the thing that the social media marketers forgot, that all of the people selling you their marketing services forgot, is it doesn't really matter if they're running traffic towards you if you have not built your credibility and your authority first. If you haven't done that, then you're running this traffic. The only people that are going to buy you're going to have a very low conversion rate, and the people that are going to buy are going to be less intelligent of buyers because they wouldn't have done any research on you, and typically are going to be actually difficult people to work with in the long run. So what does any of this mean? What the heck are you even talking about, Djemilah? What I'm talking about is getting yourself a legitimate foundation built. What does that mean? Do you have an authority site? Do you have a site where people can go? It features all of the places that you've been featured in, all of the different cool things that you're up to, and really is basically your digital business card. It's like the place where everyone can see everything about you? Have you been featured by outside sources? Is there anyone else talking about you, saying that the things that you are doing are cool or helpful? Or is it just you self-promoting because people want to hear from other sources, not just you? Even though you might be the most fantastic person in the entire universe, I want to hear that from someone that you have worked with, not or just even an outside source, a journalist maybe, not from you necessarily. I want to see that too, but you know what I'm saying. So how do you do this? How do you establish this foundation? Well, you have to actually start doing real things in your community. You need to actually do things that are worth talking about so that you can start building this organic credibility and authority and saturation. You want to get media placements. You want to reach out to journalists that have publications, to highlight what you're doing, highlight your launches, highlight your maybe up and coming program or book or podcast or whatever it is, so that you can get that Google saturation, so you can get the authority and the credibility built for yourself online, on the actual internet, like not just social media, which can go away at any way, shape, or form at any point. It's like you make them mad if you don't align with the right party, etc. You could go away. So I'm talking about Google. I'm talking about Google digital like presence. I'm talking about digital assets and digital real estate in that way, so that when you do go to run your paid advertising, when you do go to run those social media ads, which are very beneficial and can be extremely helpful for you, now when those people see your ads, now they go and they're going to go to try and verify you, because we live in a day and age where scammers run rampant, and anyone could throw up a Facebook or a YouTube or whatever, can throw up an ad to run someone through to their program that may or may not be a scam. We don't know. So what's the first thing that any intelligent buyer is going to do? Well, they're going to see, is this source that they're thinking about investing into is credible. So they're going to pop on over to their browser, pop your name of your business, your program, your personal name over into Google, and they're going to see what they see. And then from there, they're going to determine whether or not you're credible, and whether or not you have authority, whether or not you can help them. So the next time that you are going to a marketing meeting with a marketing company, I really want you to think about this episode and what I just said, because you are going to be able to tell a marketing agency who has your best interest at heart, because they will tell you, if you don't have authority and credibility yet, they are not going to pitch you paid ad services until they build that foundation for you, or maybe in conjunction with building that foundation. But if they are just pushing all of these paid ads and you have no foundation, you don't even have a website, you don't have an authority site, your authority site's not ranking on Google, you're not hitting the keywords locally, you're not hitting any of those things, you have no real online credibility or authority in the minds of a stranger who doesn't know you from Adam when they go to search you, then those ads are not going to convert as high as of a rate as they could. If you focus, then if you were to focus on the organic authority building activities first, it's laying the foundation for your house. It's laying the foundation for your empire. If you try to build on top of rubble, if you try to build on top of something that is not solid, it's not going to last very long and it's going to crumble. So that's what you see with a lot of the internet influencers these days, is getting really popular on a social media platform, having a fair amount of success, being able to do what they do for the time that they're able to do it. And then when that social media platform shuts down, they have no fallback and no backup plan. So I want you to be thinking strategically as a business owner and not putting all of your eggs into the paid media bucket, and really think about building the solid foundation, building your solid base, your organic credibility and authority first. And then whenever you want to, you can jump on and start doing the paid ads. You can start doing the paid media, and it won't be attached to the platform as far as your credibility. So that's what today's episode was all about. Is I really just, I'm just tired of a lot of stuff in the industry, and I'm just kind of ready to bear it all and to let it all out. And that's the big thing that I see it, is if you are being pushed into having this big ad spend with a marketing agency and you have zero foundation, you have zero credibility, you are not even ranking, your site's not even showing up, there's no reason for you to put any money into paid ads yet, unless you have just like a crazy amount of money to spend and you can just like dump it into all the buckets at one time. But that's a different scenario. I'm not talking to you. You're probably not listening to this podcast because you already got that figured out, right? So that's it. Yeah. If you're thinking about expanding your business, focus on building that foundation. How can you do that? A great way to start getting featured in press is to join this site. I feel like I've shared with you guys on this podcast before, but to join this site called Haro, Help a Reporter Out, HARO. And you could sign up for this list, and they will send you lists of topics from journalists every single day, and then you can respond to them. You can pitch back to the journalists based on the prompts if you feel like you're a good fit, and you can end up getting featured in the media, get featured in press via that. So that's one way. The other way is there's like always different Facebook groups that you can join for collaborations if you want to do it that way. And you could just like watch the groups. Like if you literally just type in the search bar in Facebook, like podcast collaborations groups, you can find groups where you can find people that are looking for someone with your expertise, and you could go ahead and you can apply to be on their show. And if you're accepted, bada bing, bada boom, you're building your authority organically. And now you're going to be in a much better position for the future when you do decide to run any of the paid media. And that's the end of today's lesson. So I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you for tuning into today's episode of the Becoming the Big Me podcast. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to leave us a review and share this episode with someone who needs to hear this message. That's how our podcast grows. Are you curious about learning more about harnessing the power of your subconscious mind? Then join the free Rewire Challenge, where we dive deep into the subconscious mind, how it works, and give you some tangible action steps to begin rewiring it to serve you. Go to bit.ly/Rewire Challenge. That's bit.ly/Rewire Challenge. Until next time, I'm your host, Djemilah Birnie, signing out.